Hey guys, Captain CA here, and today on FlatsClass YouTube, I'm going to show you how to wash a boat. No, I'm not going to show you how to wash a boat. I'm going to wash a boat. What I want to teach you is about one soft plastic that you need for inshore, and that's really all you need. I mean, that is it. While I get started washing this skiff up because I've been fishing today, go watch this video of me, well, getting this boat dirty, and I'll be right back in a few minutes inside the shop and tell you what I exactly mean about you just need one inshore soft plastic, period. This episode of FlatsClass YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. One of the best parts about cleaning up your skiff, especially a small technical skiff like the Hell's Bay Eldora, is the fact that it only takes one beer to get it all done. It's cleaned up and put away. All right, so let's get back to the topic at hand. What is the one soft bait, soft plastic, if you will, that you need for inshore fishing. Well, if you watched the video, you're expecting me to say a 4-inch jerk shad and root beer. No, that's not it. I misled you purposely. It's actually the ability to take one box of baits because of what the soft baits are made out of. That's what it is. So I'm going to open up this little BUZBE Colony 15. I mean, I can literally take just one small box. And I'll pull a tray out here real quick. That's got a couple of baits on it. And whatever you choose, whether it be, you know, a jerk shad or a paddle tail, the cool thing about these baits is their durability. Their durability is unmatched. It allows you to do so many things. It's soft, yet it's strong. Now, this is a proprietary material that Z-Man makes. It is hard for you to find it anywhere else. And all other soft baits or soft plastics that are made out of plastisol and whatnot, so many petroleum chemicals, they're not nearly as, I'm going to say, effective as this. Because this particular bait not only gives you the durability, but it gives you a lot more action. Doesn't matter how cold the water is, the action is still there. The action's amazing. And then the buoyancy property. So if I were to put a jig head on this, it doesn't matter whether it's what style jig head it is, this bait will float tail up and look like a feeding minnow on the bottom. It will. And it doesn't matter how big the bait is. The bigger the bait, the more buoyant it actually is. Without weight, these baits actually float. And then there's the money-saving ability to allow me to only take one box of baits. I don't have to pack a whole, skiff load of plastics to go fishing. I can take, let me pop that back in. I can just take a couple of the colors that I want, for that day's fishing. And that's all I've got to really take. It's just a couple of profiles, and I can get away with a tackle box that small, throw it in the skiff, or you might throw it in the kayak, and I'm done. I'm done. And it's hard to wear one of these baits out. And then even when you do wear one out, you can weld it back on. I'll show you a couple of tricks with that here in a second. But today I fished all day with one bait. And albeit I never really did get into anything, Tropical Storm or Hurricane Nicole is bearing down on the state. And I just wanted to go out and shoot a YouTube video today. So caught a couple of dink trout, a few small redfish, and then I caught a few snook, but only one noteworthy. Everything seemed small. Everything was confined in the creek today. You couldn't find anything on a flat. Everyone was, woo, something bad's coming, let's go. All that being said, I still wanted to get you guys out on the water to do a YouTube video. So in spite of the money-saving ability, the buoyancy control, I'm going to say extra action that you get out of these baits, and the amazing just overall durability of ElaZtech, which just makes, this is the exact bait I used today, which is just amazing. There's still naysayers. There's naysayers saying, oh no, you got to have this and you got to have that. It's difficult for me to maintain Z-Man ElaZtech baits. They melt in boxes, they do this, they do that. I don't have any trouble with that because most of the times I'll keep them in one of my BUZBE Swarm bags, and I keep them in the bag itself, and I never have an issue. Or in my case, and I don't hide this, I'm partnered with BUZBE Tackle Storage. I'll use their boxes, no issues with ElaZtech, zero. There's no melting or anything like that. And beside that, the actual compartment boxes that they provide you, and you can buy extras, are impregnated with an anti-rust material, so the hooks don't even rust. So then there's the faction that says, okay, well, how do you rig these baits? They're impossible. I can't use this hook, and I can't do that, and they're hard to put on a jig head. Listen, they make some amazing terminal tackle, or have partnered with companies that make amazing terminal tackle, where you don't have any issues with this stuff. So I'll give you an example. The Chinlocks hook. The Chinlocks is a cool rigging hook. And you'll notice how they like to keep the weight further back on the hook shank. That's so that this has a steady horizontal fall, rocking fall down to the bottom. So when I'm gonna rig, let's just say this little get her done 4-inch bait, I can go in the top, come out the chin, okay? So it's just like so. I'll put it on my shirt where you can see it better. I don't have to worry about this breaking out on that lead because it's ElaZtech. It doesn't have a big hole in the head of it from doing that. It can take it, if you will. It's tough. Then it sits on that node where you can't pull it off. And then all I got to, oops, I pulled it out right there, going the wrong way. Sorry about that, folks. Go right back to where we were. And then to rig it, all I've got to do is sit it right there, push it straight through, and it's perfectly rigged. I mean perfect. Perfect every time. And it can't come off. It's not coming off. No matter how hard you throw it, no matter how hard you skip it, you get hung up, you can rip it out. It's not going to get hung up. Some of you say, well, how do you do it with a jig head? Well, you know, here's a bait I'm going to rig real quick with a jig head. So for me, I come in the top of the head, right in the center, and I go right to about the bend, and then I start feeding that hook through. Come out in the middle of the back, and I push it up, and yes, I force it over those two little burrs on that jig head. I force it up as hard as I can, and I pull back on it. Force it up as hard as I can, and I pull back on it. Now, in many cases, I'll take Loctite right here that you can buy at any hardware store, and I'll put one drop there, I'll slide it up and hold it for 3 seconds, and this bait will stay on all day long. If, and you saw me do it in the fishing today, you see how I took a hook and I pulled the hook so that I could take the ElaZtech and put it over the line tie? You can stretch this material so that it'll go over the line tie, and then again, you can't pull it off. You can't pull it off the head because it's attached to the head just like so, and I can probably do it with this if I take my time here. You can slide it right over. I've got my glasses on here. Yep, there it is. And you'll see how I slid it over with a hook, and now it'll stay right on the head without glue. The reason I did that today was because I didn't have any glue in the boat. I forgot to put the glue in the BUZBE box. But just little tips like that, rigging tips, they make these headlocks so that you can shove them up on top of this style jig head. There's so much terminal tackle that they've come out with that makes this so much easier to rig. And again, I mean, it's that fast. You can rig these baits and they don't come off. They don't come off. That's it. It's that simple. Really. Just try, do your level best to buy the right terminal tackle for ElaZtech. And it is the only inshore bait that you'll ever need as a soft bait. All you got to do is buy Z-Man. All the Z-Man baits are made out of ElaZtech. So you're going to find that this will cover almost every situation, and they have tons of weight forward presentations, unweighted presentation. There's just so much of their terminal tackle. It's systems from their Ned rig system all the way up to their diesel eye for the bigger baits. They've got it all covered. I mean, soup to nuts. They really do have it covered. Now, if you like what you're seeing here, you're learning stuff that's really helping you catch more fish on every trip out, well, give us that thumbs up. We've earned it. And subscribe. So many of you guys watch this channel and never subscribe, but you miss all kinds of videos in between when you happen to catch this again in your YouTube feed. So why not subscribe? You'll get a notification saying, hey, Captain CA just came out with a brand new lure, which I did, and that'll be a YouTube video that's coming up later this week. All right, I gotta go. I'm sure I'm gonna have to take some stuff out of the yard now because it looks like the storm's gonna get a little bit closer to the West Coast than originally predicted, especially where I live. So I'm gonna go pick some stuff up. I'll see you guys on the next YouTube video.